Hello, welcome to Silver Tongue Saturdays. I am Patricia Caspers. I am the editor of West Trestle Review, and we are so happy that you are here with us this evening. Some reminders to members of the audience. Please do wear a mask, silence your cell phones. There's a bathroom out the door and around the corner. Sign up for the open mic if you haven't done so yet. And I think that's everything. We want to thank the Auburn Arts Commission for allowing us to use this beautiful space, and the city of Auburn, of course. And we are excited about our upcoming readings. Carla Brundage will be here on March 4th. On April 1st, we'll be having Joyce E. Young, and May 6th will be Devorah Major. So if you'd like more information, you can check out westtresselreview.com and go to the Silver Tongue Saturdays page. And you can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And right now our January, February issue is live, and then we'll have another issue coming out in March, for March and April, soon. But this evening, we are thrilled to have Mahnaz Badihian, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So here's what, well, actually, I'm going to tell you what Devorah Major had to say about her. Persia has long been lauded for its rich history of poems and poets. Yet the offspring of that legacy, the modern Iranian poets, are often not seen for the excellent work which they produce that is watered by those clear water springs. Mahnaz Badihian is one of those poets. Her newest book, Ask the Wind, is a book of depth and breadth, which flows from that legacy. With this poet, you will find laughter within these pages, along with tears of truth over the hardships we face, along with enduring sighs at the indisputable sadness of our times, and a quiet but determined affirmation of our victories in extending concern for humanity and offerings of love. Mahnaz Badihian celebrates the strength and tenacity of others and of herself. Here there is solace, anger, rebellion, despair, celebration, and resolve. This is a book worth keeping close at hand. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome Mahnaz.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Patricia, for inviting me to this beautiful room and be here this evening to read some of my poems with you. But before I start, I want to tell you that I don't know if everyone is following the news in Iran, and Mahsa Amini, the death of young girl that was killed in the hands of police in Iran because she wasn't covering her hair enough. She was covering, she wasn't covering enough the way they like. And since then, for almost 21 weeks, there has been uprising. There has been demonstration all over the world. I don't know if there has been any in Aura or if there is any Iranian population in this small city, I don't know. But everywhere in entire world there is a demonstration almost every Saturday, every Sunday. And with that said, of course, with all these demonstrations in Iran, Iranian government is arresting, torturing, killing, and imprisoning many of the young people. It is really, really, really heartbreaking stories that Iranian people hear. They don't like beautiful girls. They don't like even, it is so funny that the girls with colorful eyes, that many of them already lost an eye or two because they shoot them in their eyes. So with that said, we are very heartbroken. There is a lot to say, but Mahsa Amini was a 22 years old Kurdish girl And the reason that that situation brought a condition for uprising is not that just that one particular death, because for 43 years this fanatic Islamic government been torturing, harassing, stealing, lying to people in Iran. Especially they had their hardest rules and insult on women. So although they captured many people, they killed many people over 43 years, they stole so much money, all those things. But the death of this particular young woman, because she was so innocent. She came from Kurdistan, which is a little bit further from the capital, to visit her uncle. And she came with her brother. As soon as she got off the, I guess it was train station, the morality police came and arrested her. Her brother begged, said, please don't do that. We don't know very many people. We are just new in this big city with 15 million population. We just came to see. They said no. They took her sister, and after 24 hours, she was dead. She was dead, just like that. This caused, because she was really, really innocent. She wasn't one of those girls that it is popular in Iran right now. They do lots of cosmetic work, collagen. They color their hair. You know, young girls everywhere in the world, they do all those fun things. She wasn't one of those. She was from a very simple family. So, with that said, with respect for young people and people on the streets in Iran, I am going to read a poem that I wrote for Mahsa 4 months ago. And actually there is a video of this poem that shows some of the uprisings and pictures, all those things. So this poem is for Mahsa Amini. Beloved Mahsa, your blood turned to red poppies in our heart. You landed on the distant stars. You were looking for a convoy of heroes in your short life. You're gone, and the heart of a nation became your cradle. Why we were not there? We were asking why we were not there when the hands of barbarians snatched you. We were not there when the enemy touched your long tresses. We were not there when you were screaming. Now you are gone, and each strand of your hair became a freedom flag. How can one see your red blood seeping through your ears and not tied to the eternity of roses? But you haven't left. Your name is a magic of endurance. You are the beginning and criminals are the end. You are a cascading waterfall in the heart of the Kurdistan mountains. And you are roaring cypress on the streets of motherland. Mahsa, daughter of Iran, your innocent name is eternal. So that was for Mahsa, beloved daughter of Iran. I would like to say just a few words about me, a little bit more. At age 21, I was a nurse. Then we came here after Iranian Revolution. Me and my husband, we came here. I got master's degree in sociology, thinking I'm going to go back to my country. It didn't happen. The hostage situation arose, so many other problems. So I went to dental school. I became a dentist, and I practiced dentistry for a few years, for like 20 years off and on, part-time, full-time, something like that. And then all these years since childhood, I was either writing poetry or painting. So I could not keep doing dentistry because I wasn't dentist more than I was an artist and a poet. So like 7, 8 years ago, I totally sold the practice and totally just spending my time on poetry and art. I am going to read a poem called That Street. And this is the street in my childhood memory that my parents used to live in that. And besides my parents, many of my family, distant families, lived in that wide, long street. And that street held my family name on it because most of the land in that street was sold by my either grandfather, ancestors to other people. So I am remembering that street from my childhood because obviously I haven't been there for so long to see how it is right now. That street. I will tell you the story of that street. Long, wide, dirt-filled road with many simple people who gossiped freely and attended weddings and burials together. That was the street of close siblings and relatives. I could walk through every house and say hi freely. I could walk to my grandparents' house and see my uncle having sex with the girl in the red dress easily. I could see grandmother weaving in one corner and in another grandfather in bed with his new wife freely. I could see my mother was pregnant again easily, and I could see my brothers fighting over nothing easily. And boys were watching little girls grow taller freely. Today, that street holds strange faces, but my brothers are still fighting over nothing easily. This poem called Raven, and the name of the book, Raven of Isfahan. Isfahan is my hometown, the big city, beautiful city in Iran. And the artwork on this is by my son, so I dedicated this poem, Raven, to my son, Puyan. Soak your fingers in wine. Plant the sun in your heart so we can defeat dark times. Come tonight. It's been long since moonlight waited behind these windows to be open. Come tonight, so all the closed windows, old and shaggy, open from the rush of your aroma. I invited the raven to come with the familiar music from our country to remind us of good old times when that familiar raven flew between treetops in our backyard and settled on our porch while singing intensely with excitement as if he had important news. I remember the day you said, war will stop soon because the raven is singing longer and louder today. Okay, that is for the poem Street. This is my actually favorite poem called Pomegranate Tree, because pomegranate is one of the ancient fruits that Iran is very famous for it, and there are a few small, especially small cities that they grow pomegranate, and their pomegranate is very, very special. So we have a special connection with this fruit in Iran. That's what I'm trying to say. And many households, they have pomegranate tree. When I was growing up, we had pomegranate garden or orchard. So we grew up with that tree. Nothing will happen if my pomegranate tree forgets me, if no one remembers me. There are women who will carry all my pains on their shoulders, who will walk with my legs, who will fall in love with my heart and enjoy the stars with my eyes, who will write my poems about love and wars. There are women who will go to bed with their lover with my body. They will kiss with my lips. They will touch with my voice. They will water pomegranate trees with my hands across this world. I am all woman. Okay, now there is a poem that actually I wrote when the first few years that I came to this country, called DNA. Let me see if I can find DNA. I don't know. Sorry. Let me read another poem and then I will search find it. This poem called Testosterone. Oh, if there were no war, my brother could come to my daughter's wedding to give the necklace to her. If the war didn't happen, my son could read Hafiz and would be free from computer war games. If the war didn't happen, I would still be buying bread in my mother tongue every day. And I would consult Aunt Mohi about my female problems. But the war happened. And Pinochet broke the melodic hands of Victor Hara. And Shamlou was tormented. We all lost someone, somewhere. War happened. Wars will happen because testosterone is always alive. Let me see if I can find the poem, DNA, page 89. I would like to read this poem. It was right probably the first year, maybe first 6-7 months that we came from Iran. And the reason we came from Iran is because my husband had a scholarship in Johns Hopkins Institute, Wilmer Eye Institute. He's an ophthalmologist. So we came just to stay 8 months. He gets some more training, and we go back. But 10 days after we arrived, hostage situation came. We were devastated. So all our life was on hold for really so many years. And it happened that we raised our kids here, and then we became American. And still the problem in Iran is not solved, right? Still they're killing people, they're arresting people, all those things. So I decided to go find a job in a hospital because we have to eat. I have to find something, you know. And I had an interview with a lady in a hospital. This story is about that interview. It was Monday morning and I was passing the big statue in the lobby of Johns Hopkins Hospital, searching for room 20 for an interview with Mrs. Willis. She had permanent smile on her lips. Her hands were wrinkled with red nail polish. Mrs. Willis looked me in the eyes. How do I pronounce your name, dear? I said, Mahnaz, the exact same way it is written, M-A-H-N-A-Z. Mrs. Willis, with her master's degree, said, I will try. Mahnaz, Mahnaz, Mahanos. Then gently she changed her voice, said, "Can I call you Mary?" Mary, Mori, Mary echoed in my head. I felt like evaporating morning dew, like a branch of tree under heavy rain, like a fruit just fallen from tree. I looked Mrs. Willis in the eyes and said, "But my name is the charm of the moon, the name I was called by my mother, father, and by the man with black hair, dark mustache, and brown eyes." Mrs. Willis was looking at me with open eyes. I said, "Mrs. Willis, is my name more difficult than deoxyribonucleic acid?" So, which is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Few points here is that Mahnaz, M-A-H means moon, and N-A-Z at the end means sweet. So it means sweet moon. That's why I'm explaining here. Okay, that's enough. Now for you guys to hear me reading in my language. So you hear the music and rhythm in Persian language. I'm going to just open a page and read a poem. Maybe part of it. It said, مورچه های مقدس، من اینجا در خانه ارواح چشمان زنی را دیدم که از ابر فرو آمده و سجادش رو به سوی عنکبوتی است که روزی بر چشمان او تار تنیده. اینجا سرزمین مورچه های مقدس است و موریانه مولانا مهربان است، اما نیش میزند. مادرم در این خانه مدام سکته کرد و درست به وقت ظهر چشمان حیرت زدش زندگی را با مردی که هیچ نمی شناخت قمار کرد و از مردی که داستان جنگل را حفظ بود شماره غارهای نمناک را گرفت. This was just a part of a long poem that I read for you guys. You can stop me anytime you want. I can keep going, but it's up to you to stop me whenever you think you had enough. I'm going to read a poem called Ocean. And this is about a friend of mine, which was a lovely, lovely, lovely woman, killed herself in a Pacific Ocean. Was it? Yes. She just went and, Golden Gate Bridge, so many people go every year, and she was one of them. Very, very sad. She was absolutely unique, lovely woman. Ocean. I think that's the, yeah. The day I was riding on the ferry from San Francisco, I saw someone was walking on the surface of the ocean who was dead years ago. The ocean we love, with its endless beauty, had a chest filled with drama, screaming with the echoing voice of the dead. And the wounds of unfortunate sailors and the melody of the corpse migrating birds. While each new wave was swallowing the previous wave, the ocean had a gift for the forgotten dead. The gift of blood on its shores, the gift of the lifeless body of the little boy Artin Iranian with a piece of his mother's dress in his fist. A gift of a last pair of shoes arriving with each wave from unknown rivers and oceans. I felt the burning of the ocean's heart from the black oil dripping on its blue chest, from tankers, from the black boxes drowned with the destiny of countless lovers. Sitting in the ferry on that foggy morning towards San Quentin, where the body of my friend, Faye, was found years ago. From the window, I looked at grayish, restless water and saw that Faye's eyes were repeating in thousands on the chest of the Pacific Ocean in a circular motion. Her long hair has covered the surface of the cold water, trying to be a nest for the lost birds. I stretched my hands to grab her from the threshold of death, but she was disappearing hand in hand with hundreds of people who lost their last breath in the Pacific Ocean. I lost a friend and her image in the same river. Next poem I am going to read, looks like it, is, okay, this is also a little bit funny. I actually read this poem a week ago somewhere. It is called They Are Not Matilda and Neruda. You know, Matilda was Pablo Neruda's wife. And they are both not just wife, big love of his life, really. Many hundreds of poems written about her hair, her nail, her shoes, just name it. So in 2004, I think, I don't know, 2007, me and my husband, we went to Chile just to see Pablo Neruda's city, Chile, because Neruda is the biggest poet in last 100 years in the world. All of his poetry is translated in all the languages in the world. So we went there to see Pablo Neruda's house, which he had 3 houses. One was in Isla Negra, the main house, one in main city in Santiago, correct. And the other one was in a smaller town we didn't get to go. That's the biggest story. That trip has a big story. I can't talk about it today, but the point I'm trying to make is that Neruda and Matilda, they were buried right facing the ocean, outside their house. My mother died 2000, and 8 months later my father died. And when they were looking for a grave for my father, there was only one place was available, and that was next to my mother. And that was shocking to us, and we were actually kind of happy too. But I'm saying they are not Matilda and Neruda. That was the story of their generation. Woman would suffer in marriage day by day and never think of divorce. My parents, not precisely hating each other, not exactly in love, lived together feeling apart for so long. Finally, in middle age, mother chose exile apart from her husband and far from the 2 pomegranate trees in her garden. But separation ended at the end when in the graveyard, they slept head to toe about each other. Indeed, they are not Matilda and Neruda, lying down next to each other in Isla Negra. But I like the closeness in the graveyard. I have only to say, I love you once, wondering if at night, when they are alone, they can catch up with some practice on the subject of love. Can you tell me how much time I have? But I can keep reading.
Maybe one more?
One more? Oh, okay. What that would be? I'm going to read this poem. I wrote this poem like 10, 15 years ago on my birthday. Obviously, I wasn't 20 years old. But the poem says, the 20s won't leave me. And I always feel I'm 20, thank God. I'm naturally drunk, probably. I was born on this day in the vineyard when father was intoxicated and mother was a cute goddess. The tree of my life has been flowering for centuries, but the 20s won't leave me. The river of my body exhausts in the water of the world with the gray craze of the fish. The trees bloomed and died. Violets took lives and dried, but the 20s won't leave me. Like the fig tree of the house in the garden of San Rafael, which had fresh figs sprouted from the dried up branches. Like the tree in my childhood home in which the 4 seasons were always alive, but the 20s won't leave me. My childish heart becomes joyous with the stem of a flower, with crazy mystic music of Arif Qazvini. I grow taller under the cypress tree, under the mulberry tree, under the old pine tree, in the neighborhood of San Francisco, in the alley gardens of Isfahan, next to the watercourses of my ancestors. I stood tall as the height of time, but the 20s won't leave me. Something in my heart is alive and boiling, alive like an almond blossom, like a fresh spruce leaf, like the sun at the peak of Sahand and Sabalan mountain, like the fish in the Atlantic Ocean, alive like the dazzling light of my mother's eyes, like the endurance of a fighter for freedom, and the 20s won't leave me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, it's time for Q&A.
Any question you can ask me. I am very open to answering.
When did you start writing poetry?
That's a very good question. I actually don't know because I have a collection of my poems since age 12. So I don't remember how long before that, but as I remember, all my life I've been writing poetry. And I write bilingually.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question.
Go ahead.
Do you write bilingually?
Yeah, I have, I think in one of these books or whatever, people ask me, so how do you choose which language to write your poems with? I don't. I actually don't even sit down and say, I'm going to sit down now and write a poem. I don't do that. Poem comes to me. And when poem comes to me, chooses the language. Either comes, I lived in this country for 43 years, most of my adult life. So both language, it's not, English is not my mother tongue, but I'm comfortable, So sometimes the poem comes in English, and if I like it myself, I translate it to Farsi, Persian language, or otherwise.
You have a comment about the question you asked there. In Iran, the poetry is very strong in the culture.
Yes.
We have every poet that wrote poetry 1,000 years ago,
Yeah, because my grandfather was in love with the Book of Kings, which is that book from 1,000 years ago, and he could recite my memory and sing it. And my mother memorized the book of Hafiz. I don't know if you guys heard the name Hafiz. Hafiz, you guys heard the name Rumi, I am sure. But Hafiz is a mystic poet, and it's very difficult to translate because his poetry is very mystical. It's very difficult to translate. So yeah, we grew up with those, and many more poets, you know. So there are many poets in Iran. That's true. You have any question?
I was wondering, do you do other translations as well as part of your
Very
art?
good question. Yes, actually the reason I went to Chile because I translated one of Neruda's book called Book of Questions, and I wanted to go there, and when they found out that I translated this book, they said we never had any of his work in Persian language, so they actually invited me and my husband to his very personal library that not anybody can go, you know. And they took the book and they put it with other books that his poetry was translated to other languages. Yeah, I do. Also, I translate lots of poems from, like Sylvia Plath. No, I have difficulty remembering. Sylvia Plath, I introduced Sylvia Plath for the first time to Iranian poets because I translated some of her poems. I translated many poems. Oh, I'm in love with Langston Hughes, his poetry, and oh my God, I'm crazy about that. I just can connect with that. So I translated a lot. I also got my MFA, so I know lots of poets that they were my teachers, and I loved their work. I translated many, and I translate a collection of poets from, let's say, Brazil, from Argentina, which were translated in English, so I translated them in Farsi. So I have a collection also in Farsi from international poets. I'm also working on a novel, which I've been working on it for like 6 years actually. The last 2 years more intense. Now I'm on a final version of it, working. It's called Gohar. So when it comes out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe I can come here and read a few chapters of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also published a book about anthology of poetry.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. In 2020, my daughter lives in London. She wanted to take her kids to a school in London. So I went to visit, and she's such a healthy young girl. She got so sick, and nobody knew what's going on. They took a chest x-ray, all these tests, and nobody knew still about COVID. She was severely sick. I stayed there with her, and I came back, and then a few weeks later, I don't know if I got it from her or my husband got it from her patients, because nobody knew a lot about this. So I got COVID. I got severe COVID, really severe one, because there was no vaccination yet, nothing. I was a new COVID patient. But during this time, I already announced worldwide that a month later, I think few weeks before COVID, whatever, I don't know the date actually, I announced that I'm collecting art and poetry about COVID. And now I'm really sick, so I didn't know what to do. So I was sick for 2 weeks, and thank God my husband was there taking care of me. I published this book. It is very beautiful book. It is a little bit expensive, but I don't know, you guys know Jack Hirschman? Jack Hirschman was basically in love with this book, in love. It is called COVID-19 Anthology of Art and Poetry from Around the World. It is Plague 2020 Anthology of Yeah, so it is on Amazon. It has lots of poems in it. Deborah is in it. Jack Hirschman is in it. Lots of poets from around the world are in it, and lots of absolutely breathtaking COVID-related artwork. Because people, the first 6 months, people were anxious. People were scared. Everywhere in the world, people were scared. So that book is beautiful. It is, but because it has lots of colorful artwork, I didn't want any artwork to be black and white, because the beauty of it is the color. So Amazon makes money on it. Amazon sells it, I think, for $50. I don't know if they reduced the fee right now. And just like that. You know, they deal with Amazon. They don't, you don't make money, they make money.
Right.
Jeff Bezos makes money. So, any other question?
I have one last question. Did you get the job with that job interview?
Yes, I did. And she actually did, she saw me very upset. Because I just, after a few months I came from Iran, she's asking me to change my name. It was very upsetting, you know. I felt so lost. She apologized from me and said, because all these nurses and things that they come from Vietnam or Philippines, the first thing actually they do is they pick American name. And you know, it's good to have culture in any country, all over the world. We can't all be John. No, we can't. My husband is Jahangir. It's just like John, Jahangir. Yeah. So my Mahnaz, like Mary, you know, but it is, the beauty is that we all accept the way we are, and there are a variety of faces, shapes, cultures, foods, voices. Yes, so I got the job.
Good. Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to come here to your town. It was a little bit difficult because it was raining and took a long time to come here, but I'm so happy that I made it. And thank you so much, Patricia.
Oh, thank you.
inviting.
That was
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you. There are a few copies. I don't know if anybody knows.
Okay, I'll go.
You know, because there are not too many people.
Well, okay. That's the end of our reading. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next month for Carla Brundage. So follow us online, and we'll see you then. And for everyone else, it is time for our open mic. We don't record the open mic, so you don't have to worry about being recorded. I don't know if did anybody sign up for the open mic? No? No takers? All right. Well, in that